3, 2, 1, action.
Good afternoon. I'm here with some geography researchers who are looking into whether or not the city of Inverness is a clone town. So if I could just start my questions. What makes you say that Inverness is a clone city?
Well, walking down the high street, all the shops are TNCs that have been put on the unique agriculture of this place, but they're all recognisable brands you could see anywhere in the UK, like Boots, Specsavers, all.
We've got a range of other ones that are similar to this. As we come from the University of Worcester, around Worcester, we have a lot of chain brands in here. Albeit, even though we have double the size in Worcester of population, here is only half the population of Worcester, but there's equally the same amount of chain brands, if not more.
Are you saying then that what you've just said is actually supporting the fact that you view this as a clone city?
I would say yes. I think showing a similarity between a lot of places. The clone city, in its essence, is a similar city shown in different areas. So you could have a lot of different towns that have the same high street. You'll be able to recognise the same brands, the same places, and I think that by showing the amount of chain brands around here, it really gives a sense of how much of a clone city it is.
Thank you very much for that. If I could ask you another question now. As I've been walking around, I've seen a number of shops that are not from a clone town. For example, there's a whisky shop, which is very much local to the area, tartan manufacturers, as well as the Victorian streets at the back, which are not cloned, part of what I would call a clone town. How can you get that to support your argument?
Well, even though they may not be on the same level as the TNCs, or as people from England, we'd think, oh, well, it's local to this place. But however, all those things that you listed, they could just be generalised to the entirety of Scotland, not so particularly to the city of Inverness itself. And while you make a good point with the Victorian market, the business rate around there is substantially lower than the large shopping centre that's just down the street. And this city does have unique spots, but they're not highlighted, they're not broadcasted.
Thank you very much for that. My final question is, what should Inverness do to support your concept that this is a clone city?
I think a first point you really need to think about is the decentralisation of these mainline brands. I feel like they need to put a lot more money into rejuvenating certain aspects of the area, such as a lot of the historic buildings around here have been left to ruin or completely destroyed and rebuilt as cheaper alternatives instead, not fitting with the theme of the city, such as a couple banks have certain houses and buildings that just do not fit with the city's profile at all.
Thank you very much indeed. That was a very comprehensive overview, and thank you again, and returning to Nick in the studio.